I was doing this morning as the music was cueing. Bum 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 bum. Is that? Am I the only one who thinks I'm funny? I don't know. Probably. My wife's like, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Get the hell out of here. All right, my friends. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. We have another great guest. What can I say? You know, I was looking at the very last minute, like I do every morning, at who we have on the show, and just getting familiar with their marketing. And I was like, we got the best guest in the world on this show. All right, I'm done tooting my horn and our horn here for a second. I'll be back to that here probably in a few minutes. But let's not make it about me. Let's make it about our guest here, coming all the way, okay, from the northern tip. I believe he's still in the northern tip of the United States of America. Not really the northern tip, but the northern tip of the main 49. Minnesota, Mr. Jeet. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you? This is crazy.
Not to be confused with Jet.
Yeah. Screw my name up all the time. Food order. We were just talking about how in food orders, whenever I get my order, I say Jeet, but they always call me Jet. I'm like, there's two E's for a reason.
Yeah. It's a very common thing for Americans to do that. We're just, we don't pay much attention to details. So you say this is crazy. Why are you watch the show or whatever, and now you're on it and that deal?
Yeah, it's just crazy because like a little over 2 months ago, I had no idea what legendary marketer even was. And then my first introduction to it, I'm seeing this smart guy named Dave Sharpe talk to me. I'm seeing Matt talk to me.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Right now, and then it's just, I would have never thought. And within like 2 months, I'd be talking to him directly in front of the legendary community. So it's really cool.
Yeah, dude. Congrats on that, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Take that in for a moment.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm in my bedroom, like, wow, I'm talking to Dave right now. I don't know. This place doesn't look cool enough. Need to make my bed today.
Yeah, no, it's all good. No, just point the camera up, man. Like you have it at the ceiling, and we'll never know. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. You dropped a few lines to us to let us know kind of who you were, and you seem like a super interesting and fun dude. Loves to listen to music. You said, "Give me the aux cable." I think that's what you were referring to.
Yeah.
You were like, "Give me the aux, and you won't be disappointed." Like you're like that guy, likes to party, likes to hang out with friends, likes to have fun. What the hell led you to online marketing?
Sure. So I'll just give you a quick background. So I'm 22 years old. I just graduated from the University of Minnesota just last May. So I'm actually living right off of campus with 4 of my other college buddies. They're all in the same house. So there's like 5 bedrooms here. So it's a pretty busy place. It's nice to be.
Are they in the same room with us right now?
No, they're not. Thankfully, it'd be too crazy then. And I'm sure they'd be chuckling in the corner. So but yeah, so I just graduated from college, and in October I started a full-time job with consulting. I'm actually doing tech consulting, so that's my 9 to 5. But in November, I think late November, I was just scrolling through TikTok as most people do these days because there's not much social interaction, so you need something to get your time, use your time wisely. And I ran into someone. I think it was Mitch Fortner. I think it was his TikTok that led me to Legendary Marketer. And then I saw, okay, there's this course, this $7 course, pretty low risk. I'll go into it with little expectations. And here I am. I mean, just created something out of nothing. And that's where I am now. And yeah, the whole music thing is basically just, I love music. I've always loved music. My family's loved music. And I always find myself searching for new tunes on SoundCloud, Spotify, that kind of stuff all the time. I'm always the go-to guy. I feel like when we're having like a get together or a party, like, hey, just give Jeet the phone. He can handle the music stuff. But I'll be sitting in the corner just like queuing up songs. That's like the type of person I am. So I don't know, I always bring that up.
Nice. So this, so like you're brand new. You said that you researched a little bit of drop shipping, but just felt like it sounded great, but you could tell that there was going to be overhead shipping and potentially selling shit products from countries that you're potentially going to get the product, or the customer to get the product and be like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. So I mean, what the big thing for me is I've always kind of been looking for some side thing to do or like something new to pursue. So obviously the big one is drop shipping, but I think the biggest issue for me is just kind of like the ethics behind it sometimes. Sometimes I feel like if you get too caught up in the whole sales and money thing, you're gonna end up selling things that actually aren't valuable to people. And at the end of the day, I'm putting my face in front of people, and if I'm giving things that are not of value, it's ruining my brand at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, drop shipping, I'm sure it works for some people, and I'm sure some people do it very well. But to me, I really wanted to make sure that whatever I'm promoting, whatever I'm trying to sell to people actually has value and they can see it and it's clear. And that's why for me, this legendary marketer was like the best first approach, because I could easily see what the value was. I could see that the education can help people, it can help beginners, it's beginner friendly. It just made sense. So I felt like from day one, I knew that my ethics were on point. Everything I was doing was on point. Whereas with drop shipping, I wasn't too sure.
Well, selling information anywhere, if it's quality information, even in this information world of selling information, courses, coaching events, there's also crap products, and we have to be aware of that, and we all have to know that. I would probably say that the majority of products in any industry are crap. You've got tiers of quality. Usually the masses are going to consume the lowest. They're going to buy based on price and stuff like that. And they're either going to continue to consume that, or they're going to say, okay, what you pay for what you get, and I'm going to start buying better quality. But there is crap stuff in every industry, including the information and or course or training industry. A lot of products on ClickBank are crap. A lot of products on JVZoo are crap. Just a lot of products that gurus sell. Even big name gurus, they're not really that involved in their companies, and they're just more interested in being famous, and they sort of get away from what clients actually need. So, so I don't know. I thought that I'd mention that because as I believe and have always been in the information selling industry, I feel like it's a gold mine. But it's easy to sell. It's easy to be an affiliate for information products. People get instant access, digital downloads, etc. And I think there's in affiliate marketing, there's just there's like a 5-step sniff test that we can go through to make sure that the products that we're promoting have good quality. And you can kind of tell pretty immediately whether the product that you're thinking about promoting is worth getting behind. Well, you can anything coming up for you, because I wanted to ask you, when you got into legendary, what sort of struck you as different, and what has your experience been like that has been most impactful to help you to both go through the training, finish the training that you bought, and then also put it into play and start getting results?
The first thing is, I think the best thing about legendary marketer is just its simplicity. I mean, you go in and you have one task, that's to finish day one. Then after that, you have one task to finish day two. And to me, it's just the simplicity of it all. And the way you explain it, it makes sense to me. I can make sense I didn't know what affiliate marketing even was before legendary marketer. So the fact that you can explain it and make sense to me, I can understand the whole business model. I can see why it works just from sitting at my desk and looking at the videos. I think the simplicity is really what got me sold on legendary marketer, and it made me keep going, because as long as I can understand it, I can check in my head, like, okay, can I see myself doing this? Yes. Okay, let's on to the next day. Can I see myself doing this? On to the next day. It's just simple. It's just a video a day.
Yeah, a video a day keeps the bill collectors away.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to do that. So then you've gotten into actually building your business, not just consuming training, but actually taking action on what you've learned. So what has that been like for you? I mean, not knowing the title of this video is 1,000 leads his first month. That's pretty awesome. Congrats on that, and congrats on the commissions and results that you've made so far. So what has that been like, and what has been you think the 80-20? You know, there's like 80%, there's like 20% of what you do that creates 80% of the results, and then there's the 80%, which is sort of the busy work that makes us feel like we're building our business, but it only creates 20% of our results. And that's true in my experience in everything. So what has been your 80% that's helped you get your 20% that you've done that's been really impactful to help you get going and get results?
Honestly, I think the 20% has just been the little content pieces that I put out. At the end of the day, like I try to do it where I'm on TikTok mainly. I also have YouTube. I have a Facebook group, all that kind of stuff. But literally in my lunch break, I'll be like, I'm going to put one video out just talking about what's on my mind, what I think about when it comes to this business. And I put it out there in like the most brutally honest way as possible. Because I know like my biggest value add is the fact that I'm new to this. I'm just like a lot of people who are just starting. You know, I'm very close to that. It was 2 months ago. I had no idea what this was. So I'm putting myself in those shoes 2 months ago with no information, no knowledge, no background, no skills. I didn't know what a sales funnel even was. I didn't know what an email autoresponder was. With that in mind, how can I be as honest and thinking from the, from a beginner legendary marketer members like role, or someone who hasn't even started the course or something like that? How can I think from their shoes and just give them a quick 20 to 30-second blurb about, whatever's on my mind, and something that can make them think that they can do it too. It's just about being honest and putting out little pieces of content every day or every other day. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
So I think that it's interesting that you say that. I think that a lot of people really downplay and underestimate their newness. They look at it like a liability, like a weakness, and you're looking at it like a strength. Very, very, very interesting, empowering, and I'm really hoping that people pick up on that reframe. So, are you aware that you're framing your newness in a positive and empowering way and using it to your advantage, or are you doing that purposefully? And what other tips or advice could you give people who are feeling like their newness is a liability or a weakness?
Right. And I definitely am. And it's something that it didn't come to me naturally at first, because when you're really new to this business, I think people look at someone who's already successful as like the blueprint. Oh, I can do this too. But it's actually a lot of times it's the other way around. When I just started 2 months ago, I think that's my biggest strength, because my relatability is very high. People understand that they can get to where I am if they put in the work. And I think the relatability aspect is really big. And I think people also downplay the fact that everyone is super unique. I mean, like everyone's background, their set of values, culture, skills, where they grew up, whatever, that set of traits right there makes them more unique than anyone. No one can beat them at being them. That's like the big thing for me. No one can beat me at being me. I might be boring. I might just be a college kid, but I'm also from Minneapolis. I also live with 4 other people. I'm an Indian guy. There's like a bunch of things that make me that also, like, I think people downplay the fact that they can do it because they're super unique. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm just like everyone else. Why would they listen to me? There's just a relatability aspect, I'd say. And just being very honest to who you are, and knowing that if you are very honest to who you are, people can see that. Because I think online, people can see when you're being fake. People can see when you're not actually putting forth, your own honest thoughts. So
yeah,
the biggest thing.
Well, I think also we really, for whatever reason, I don't know why we do this as human beings, but like I think it's the right way to pronounce it is self-deprecating humor, right? Kind of like making fun of yourself, is the funniest shit ever. That's like the way to connect with people, is not to be a total arrogant asshole.
Right.
Now, I am arrogant. My wife says I'm arrogant, so she has never lied to me. But I try not to be a total asshole in life and in marketing. I think it's just kind of like a bit of my bougie nature. Is, I don't know, maybe some of it's natural. My aunt and mom used to like to, particularly, I had an aunt that liked to take me out and buy me filet mignon and shrimp and lobster and shit when I was young. And so whether she had the money for it or not, I don't know. But, you know, it was like I got spoiled. I was an only child when I was growing up. So I sort of, you know, had to grow up when I grew up and realize that I wasn't going to have, you know, a bunch of women running around taking care of me for the rest of my life. My wife also was very quick to remind me of that as well. But there's a difference between being like an arrogant bro marketer, you know what I mean? To where like I'm always wearing sunglasses and sitting in front of a Lamborghini or whatever, or trying to make it about what I got, and just getting on and just being myself. I like to go live because it brings out the realness in me. Anyways, I'm rambling a bit, but my point is that I think we underestimate just the real, true authenticity of our or the value of our corniness, and of our mistakes and you know. One last thing I'll say, and I'm interested what comes up for you as I'm saying this. When I see somebody break down and cry or really spill their guts, that's when I feel the closest to them. Same thing with me. I've had people be around me, like in men's groups, group therapy, masterminds, all this, and even tell me, I felt like distant from you. But then when you just really shared your heart, shed a couple of tears, did an ugly cry, all that, I felt closer to you. And I, for whatever reason, there's a challenge with us really embracing that part of ourselves. What's coming up for you as I'm saying this? And does this make sense to you, G?
Yeah.
Or am I just talking nonsense?
No, it definitely makes sense. I mean, the way I look at it is all of my closest friends, you know, the friends that I live with right now, I think one common trait that we have is that we don't take ourselves very seriously. So when we're all sitting in the living room, you know, we can make fun of ourselves. And the fact that we do that makes me think that, makes me think that we're all very comfortable with each other. We're comfortable with who we are. And it brings me closer to the other person. So I think of it the same way when I'm on social media. Just because I'm talking to do a TikTok doesn't make it any different. I mean, I'm sitting with a bunch of friends, and the more I make myself feel, or the more humble I am, the more normal I make myself seem, the more, I can make mistakes too. I'm not mistake prone. The more that I put that version of me out there, I think that's what really touches people rather than putting on a front. Because at the end of the day, again, like my best friends are all people that know how to have fun, and they know how to self-deprecate in a way that, it just brings us closer to each other. So we can have a good time. Don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. So if you guys are just tuning in, the reason why we've been talking about this is because I said, gee, what has been the most impactful thing that you've done? Like what is responsible for generating 1,000 leads in your first month, beginning to make commissions and getting your business off the ground from zero, not knowing anything about affiliate marketing? And he said, just a couple of pieces of content, like being myself, just being purposefully honest, and really embracing my newness, because I can relate to somebody's journey and they can relate to mine. I think one other thing that's so important to help all of you who are new reframe your newness as a strength instead of a weakness is that you may want $1 million success story, but there's not a single person in your potential customer base who can probably even relate to that. Like that most people are going to hear that and say that's BS, or might be a scam, or he's lying, or good for him, I could never achieve that. But if you talk about things like, hey, I'm generating 5 leads a day, or I generated 1,000 leads my first month, right? Or I just made $1,000 this month. Things like that are things that every single person can relate and aspire to, and most of all achieve. They can see themselves doing that. It sounds realistic to them. So, Jeet, I hope that even as you continue to succeed at higher levels and make more money, you'll never stop talking to the newest person in your prospect pool, right? The newest person. in the most simplistic way. Because when marketers get ahead of themselves and they forget what it's like to be new, and this is one of the reasons why I do this show, dude, is so I can stay in touch with where I came from and also with the language of somebody who's new. Does this make sense?
Yep.
So what you're saying is sort of one of the reasons why this show is an important part of my marketing. I can hear things that people like you say, and it gives me language to use in copy, and it gives me language to use in videos. So I'm not speaking over people's heads, and I'm not speaking at my year 10 or 11, but at their day 6. Or does this make sense?
Yeah, and that 100% makes sense, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I could take the leap in the first place. Because if I went in and you were speaking a bunch of lingo, throwing acronyms left and right and talking about sales funnels like I already knew what it was, or affiliate marketing like I already knew what it was, it probably wouldn't have worked, and I probably wouldn't have went on. But the fact that it's so relatable, you keep it simple, I think that's what made it work for me, and that's why I try to mimic, so that it works for people that I try to talk to through social media.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to hit on is just you're working. You called it your 9 to 5. It's funny. I'm sure you aspired to have this 9 to 5 all through college, and now you get into internet marketing and like kind of business, I don't know, entrepreneurship style kind of thinking in communities. And now, the 9 to 5 is like, that's my 9 to 5. But it was just kind of funny. I picked up on that. So what does your future look like, dude? I mean, you went through 4 years of college. Did this just kind of pee on your parade? Or are you still going to pursue your career in tech consulting or whatever you were doing? Or I'm just interested, because I'm sure there's lots of other people who are in college who don't want to be like, okay, I totally, don't want to be depressed and angry that, I totally just wasted all this time or whatever.
Right.
How do you make your experience in college valuable, continue to make it valuable for you? How will it be valuable? And what are your plans in the future?
So one thing I definitely say is I know a lot of people that get into Legendary are people that do have 9 to 5s, and
I would say probably the majority,
okay? Right? So I think it's possible to do. It's easily possible to do both. I'm just gonna say that because I work a 9 to 5. Some days it ends up being 50-hour weeks or whatever, and I still make it work. And it's during my lunch I'll post a TikTok, or like after work I'll spend maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day or every other day. I'm just saying, like, first of all, it's very possible to do both. And even if you're not insanely successful with affiliate marketing, you can still do it on the side, and it can be extra, income in your pocket. But to me, I think the income is not the most powerful thing that I've gotten out of this whole venture. I think it's confidence. It's the power that I've gotten through posting my first piece of content ever. I put my face out there. That's something that I never would have seen myself doing in the past. And now I think once you put your first piece of content out there and people start engaging, and you do that for a month, suddenly that opens many, many doors. So today I could be talking about marketing. Tomorrow I could be talking about my favorite song, because I was talking about I love music, right? It gives me the power to expand and go different ways with whatever I want to go. I could talk about music. I could talk about art. I could talk about whatever it is. But so you're talking about where I'm heading in the future. Right now, it seems like I don't really know. I honestly don't know. I want to keep progressing with this. This is giving me so much power. I want to put more time into this. So who knows? In a couple of years, 2-3 years, I could be done with a 9 to 5, and I could be fully pursuing what I want to do. And maybe in 2 or 3 years, this may still just be something that I do after work. I don't know. But the point is, both paths are completely viable. They're completely doable. You can work, you can do affiliate marketing on the side. But the thing is, once you start with affiliate marketing, a bunch of ideas pop into your head, and suddenly I'm thinking, wow, I could really expand this content. I could really create a brand out of myself. It's
a gift and a curse, isn't it?
Right. It definitely is.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. It'll settle down, though. I mean, what I think you had a more viable career path. You do have a more viable career path than I did. And I used to be when I got introduced to like MLM and stuff in the beginning, I was made to feel like having a 9 to 5 was like this bad thing. And then I just outgrew all that bullshit and just realized that, I had to get around the adults. These were like children that I was hanging out with, like adolescent adults. They were dysfunctional people, many of them. And I had to realize that, my experience is not everybody's experience. I was a goddamn construction worker in Florida, and my career path was not very ideal. I would have been very hot and very broke and very tired every day if that's the career path that but some of you guys may have jobs that you don't totally hate or you don't even dislike. And even if you do dislike it, I would challenge each one of you guys to consider that how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you think that you're going to suck at your job and then all of a sudden you're going to go crush it as an entrepreneur, you're probably not. You're not. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So if you want to become a great entrepreneur, you want to be a great business owner, my suggestion to you would be absolutely kick so much ass in your job that you feel like there's nowhere else to grow. And the only way for you to grow is to go out and do something on your own, right? To own your own business. Because if you can't successfully take orders, if you can't successfully be humble, learn, be a student, be a follower, it's going to be very difficult for you to successfully be a leader, to be a boss, to be a manager, to be somebody who can lead people through, because leading is not about, standing up on a podium. It's about getting down in the trenches. And when you become a business owner, it is important that nobody outworks you, that you're willing to do everything that you ask everybody else to do. That's one of the reasons why I think I'm successful. It's not because I have this magical thing. It's because there's nobody in our company that can outwork me. I'm not saying they don't outwork me some days, because I believe they do. I believe Matt Hetzel outworks me some days. Julie outworks me. Many of our BPAs outwork me, but there's many days they don't. There's many days that I outwork them, right? And so it's a different perspective. It's a shift in perspective that most, entrepreneur Instagram assholes are not saying and talking about. They're like, well, quit the job, da, 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 da. These are hot buttons, right? These get people angry. It's like politics, politicians know the right things to say to get you mad at the other side. But it's just a hot button. You have to unplug from that and really think logically. If I'm sucking at my job, am I really going to go kick ass as an entrepreneur? Where in life let me pose it to you differently. If I'm sucking in this relationship and I also sucked in my last relationship, is it me or is it them? I had several people along my journey that said, Dave, you're the common denominator in all your relationships. Everywhere you go, there you are. You just can't get out of your own way. And so, that I had that issue with my wife. I thought she was the problem many years back. And she said, you're going to be sitting on the same couch with another girl with the same problems. And that woke me up. I was like, holy shit, I better lean into this relationship and figure out what's going on with me. So I'm rambling and ranting again, but it's for a reason. It's because those of you who feel shame or bad about having your job and you just want to get out of it so fast and go run and be an entrepreneur, use that time. Be thankful that you have a job. Be thankful that you have a stream of income. Be thankful that you don't have so much pressure that you have to be desperate in your business, that you can breathe a little bit. And remember that how you do one thing is how you do everything. What's coming up for you as I'm ranting about this, G?
Yeah. And I was talking about earlier how like sometimes my job can be like tough, long hours, 50-hour, 60-hour weeks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I think it's the mentality. Like I'd go into work and I'd come out and feel like I can do more. I know there's more to me than just, doing what's asked of me on this job. There's things in my head that I can do outside of it, and that I feel like I wanted to progress my narrative beyond the scope of my tech consulting job to more than that. And I think the fact that, you know, affiliate marketing came into my life, it's given me power to actually progress my narrative. Now people don't just see me as like the tech consulting guy in my life. Now I can be the marketing guy. One day I could be the music guy. You know, it could be a bunch of things. It's given me the power to progress my narrative every single day. That feeling alone is amazing. When you feel like you're doing something that you can speak how you feel and what you're thinking rather than just talking about your job, I think that's very important. But there's literally, I have no shame in my job. I mean, I love it. It's great. I've worked for it for a long time, and I have no shame in affiliate marketing, and I love it. And I want to progress that as well. And wherever it takes me, it takes me.
Well, brother, I'm thrilled to know you, thrilled to have you as a part of our community. Love what you're doing, love your attitude, and my wish and hope for you is that you continue to pursue it with this passion, this no shame, just you're exploring, you're young. Oh man, it's a beautiful time in your life, brother. It's a beautiful time in your life. You're 22 and you've got, you know, as some would say, you've got the world by the balls. Yeah, I said it. All right. So keep up the great work, and we're thrilled to be a part of your journey. Okay, man?
Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later, and hopefully you'll come back and keep us updated on your journey.
Hopefully.
All right, man. See you, G. All right, my friends. Whoop, there it is, as they said back in the 90s. No. My wife, if you ever hear a cackle at some of my hilarious and awkward dad jokes, that's her. It's an audience of one. Thank God others are listening, and it's not just my mom on here. That's what it used to be back in the day. You know, I went from 0 people who showed up at my webinars, though I would perform them anyways, you know, because I didn't want my wife to find out that the big packed house that I said I would have that night actually had nobody there. So I'd perform the damn webinar anyways. And then my mom started showing up. You know, she had loaned me a little bit of money to start my business, so she wanted to make sure that I was actually doing what I said I was going to do. But now it's not just my mom, thank God. Though sometimes she does attend Wake Up Legendary. So if she does, I'll point her out and you can say hello. My friends, the time has come for you to go and to me to go as well. But we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. As some say, Friday. I don't say that, but some people say that. Because every day is Friday to me. Every day is also Monday. The days sometimes run together. But that's just the way life is when you're you know, working entrepreneurship the way that I work entrepreneurship. There's no days off, yet I could take every day off. I'm like a philosopher this morning, honey. It's unbelievable. You know, I should write like a poem or something, or I should just end the show right now. It's probably another thing. Should I just end the show? Wrap it up, huh? Wrap it up. All right, my friends. Be well, be great, be legendary, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks again to Jeet. Go follow him on TikTok. That's the Jeet code. All right. I like that. The Jeet code. I like that a lot. All right. Lift that man up. Go support him. Comment on every video he does. Like every video he does. Lift him up. Support him. We should just replay what I said. I think it was yesterday, the day before, every day, of why it's so important to lift people up and support them, because that will come back to you tenfold. All right, my friends. Be well, be legendary.